My name's Billy McLaughlin, and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, although I feel like the world is my home because I travel a lot playing music all over the place. I had a little radio under my pillow every night and listened to the, pop stations, and I just fell in love with music as a little kid and wanted to participate in it. I wanted to be part of it. Instead of just a listener, I wanted to create it and play it. I went to a Catholic school, and they had an opportunity for a guitarist to play along with the church music, and I thought, what a great opportunity to meet girls playing guitar in church. So I guess I started playing guitar when I was like 12, maybe 11 or 12, and I wanted to study at the university level. I wanted to study guitar. I was very ill prepared. So I crammed a few basic music theory courses into my senior year so that when I went to college, I was accepted. I had to, you have to audition. And I was accepted at the University of Southern California when that guitar program was just burning. Well, I'm still making my most impressive work now. There's two sides of it, because really I feel like I had a career as a right-handed guitarist, and I can tell you that getting an album onto the Billboard charts and touring 50 city tours after 50 city tours all around the country and establishing a family, the connection with people is what's important through music to me. So to have that experience of being on the road for about 12 years before I started having problems, I'm very proud of the touring work. I'm proud of the recordings that we did. I'm proud that I at least got one of my first record with my label onto the Billboard charts. And that was like the first half. It's hard to compare that with when you lose what you love to do due to a neurological problem. So I was missing notes. Things that were automatic, that were in the subconscious, just couldn't be accessed anymore. And when you can't play your own music and all you've wanted to do your whole life is play music, and all you've done your whole life is play music, and all of a sudden you're going, what is wrong with my hand? And you start looking at the hand and thinking about the hand, and you go to hand doctors and they MRI everything and they scan it and x-ray, and there's nothing wrong with your hand. We think you need to see a psychologist. We think you've developed stage fright. And I still thought there was something wrong in my hand for 3.5 years. I did acupuncture, I did massage therapy, I did rolfing, I changed my diet, I did everything you could think of to try to explain why I couldn't play. And I was freaking heartbroken at the time. I was humiliated, publicly humiliated. Because you can tell when someone's having a bad night, but that's how I was taking care of my family. I mean, my music was also my, complete living, and I had a family of 5 kids. I mean, it was horrifying. And finally, I went to a neurologist because somebody mentioned, another guitarist mentioned, there's a condition that I think you need to get checked for. And I went to the Sister Kenny Musicians Clinic here in Minneapolis, and I saw a fantastic neurologist who, when the other doctors over 3 years could not diagnose me, she looked at me and said, it took her 3 seconds. I brought my guitar and I started moving she says, you have focal dystonia. And I said, what? Focal dystonia. And initially I was relieved because everybody thought I was either crazy or on drugs. And now I could say to everybody and to myself, and she said, the other important thing, she said, you did nothing wrong to get it. Out of an orchestra of 100 quality players, on average, 2% of those, 2 of those people are going to come down with this weird thing where they lose control of 1 or 2 or more fingers. And I said, dystonia, huh? And she said, yeah, you better think about what you're going to do the rest of your life, because we don't have any therapies for it. It does progress to a point, and I think yours is going to get worse if you keep playing. Well, I had no choice but to keep playing. I mean, I had to take care of my kids. And so I got in that vicious cycle of denial, and that put me in a position of basically making peace with the fact that I was going to not play ever again. I dedicated a few years of taking every note that I used to play with this hand and moving it over to this hand. And it's like, if you are really good at and fast on your keyboard, try to be really fast on your keyboard doing this, right? Only it's even harder than that. I took a particular technique that I developed when I was healthy right-handed, and I focused on that, and it's an unusual way of playing the guitar without strumming it. So you've got both hands up on the neck. And with these 4 healthy melody fingers, I can add the bass notes in with just the 2 fingers that still work. So I was pretty lucky that I had stumbled into that style of guitar playing. We call it two-handed tapping or tapping style guitar on the neck, and that's what I've built the rest of my career on, and making a comeback. And I'm playing those songs I used to play right-handed even better now as a left-handed player. You know, part of the experience of, you know, of losing your self-esteem and finding a way to build it back up and building your skill set, it's takes a lot of being stubborn, I guess I'd say. You know, I was going to say it takes a lot of courage. I don't think of myself as being courageous, but I'm stubborn enough to put the time in and to go on. And I have an Emmy now that I never would have, an Emmy for music that I never would have had had I given up when things fell apart. That's a big life lesson, I guess, for all of us. It became huge for me to find community, and I remember the first time I walked into a meeting, a dystonia support group meeting, and I felt like I was finally finding my people. Because when you have a movement disorder, and dystonia can affect any part of your body. You can get it in your leg, you can get it in your neck, you can get it in your eyelids, you can get it in your vocal cords, you can get it throughout your entire body. But for me to find a commonality with the other people, that they understood what was going on with me, and that I was with a group of people who, oftentimes, if you have a movement disorder that's visible to other people, you try to hide it. You don't want to let people know. And in the music world, if the word gets out that you have dystonia, it could be the end of your career in the orchestra. So there's a stigma that goes along with having a neurological condition, especially a movement disorder. We try to hide it, you know, and so when you get around people who aren't hiding it anymore, you feel really liberated, and you feel a little better about yourself.